And we're finally free. We are free from Fox Sports, at least for the Cup and Xfinity series. Xfinity forever, but for Cup at least until February. Thank God. Oh, I cannot stand any more of their bull crap. Like going to caution with 8 to go. We're nearly missing restarts and just doing stuff that's would be passable like 5 years ago. So glad. I want you guys, Y for yes, N for no. I already know where this is going. Are you happy that Fox is done? Let me know right now. I want to see what you guys got as we all file on in here to what was a very Jekyll and Hyde race. The first half of this race was absolute insanity. I think to a level that none of us expected from Sonoma. The second half of this race was generally a Sonoma race that at least had a decent finish to end this thing off instead of just, somebody riding off into the sunset. We actually had a good finish to this race overall. I do want to see what the follow-up is, though, when it comes to the Kyle Busch Ross Chastain deal. I'm keeping an eye right now. I'm about 30 seconds behind on TV because YouTube TV sucks for that. But I really want to see. I want to see if there's anything, that comes of Chastain and Kyle Busch. Because if I'm Kyle Busch, I'd love to see if he'd go after him. But while we are waiting for what Fox more than likely won't show us because they got to get to D-League football, let's talk about this race and what exactly happened here. This race was 110 laps long. By the way, no, I've tried fixing it. It's just it's a Fox thing. If it's FS1, if it's cable, it's not behind, but it's just a problem. It's a real problem on the YouTube TV front that I've tried fixing. They'll put UFL and pickleball in front of NASCAR. A D-level football league in a sport that only people that are like grade school kids in school and really old people seem to really, really, really like. But anyway, let's talk about this race. 110 laps, 3 hours, 1 minute, 22 seconds, 16 lead changes, 9 cautions, and of those 16 lead changes, I believe there were 9 leaders. Now they just re-updated it. It's 2 hours, 56 minutes, and 12 seconds. So we didn't hit 3. If anyone had an over-under on the time of this race, there you go. Kyle Larson gets the victory in it. I want to say he's... I don't know who would be in the regular season points lead, but it wouldn't be Denny Hamlin anymore. So Larson's definitely either in that position or very close to that position. You got Michael McDowell coming home with the second place finish, 4.258 seconds behind Olala. Then you got third place Chris Buescher, fourth place Chase Elliott, and a top 5 for Ross Chastain after spinning Kyle Busch. It figures. The one race that Kyle Busch doesn't look washed in, he gets spun out. I really want to see what happened with that. And you guys can definitely tell me. Yeah, McDowell supremacy all the way. McDowell supremacy or Fox sucks. Either way, I think both are spammable in this comment section. AJ Allmendinger with the 6th place run. Ryan Blaney 7th. 8th is Tyler Reddick. 9th, Bell. And Todd Gilliland with another solid run today. 10th on the day. Corey LaJoie comes home 11th. They have updated. Okay, so they had Kyle Busch 17th. And now they've updated him to the 12th position on NASCAR's website. So initially they had him 17th. They now have him 12th, which I think is pretty good, honestly, for being spun out right at the end. 13th is Brad Keselowski. 14th will be Suarez. 15th, Bowman. 16th will be Zane Smith. And 17th will be Carson Hocevar. After that, in 18th, we got Ryan Preece. 19th, Eric Jones. Bubba Wallace, top 20 finish today. Joey Logano, 21st. Not a good day after getting caught up in a wreck and being on the pole. You got Austin Cindric in 22nd. 23rd is Kaz Grala. 24th, Ricky Stenhouse. Then Harrison Burton in the 25th spot. 26th is Gregson. And MTJ does finally finish. And the official count is 125 seconds off the leader. He gets a 27th place run, but a lead lap finish. After that, you got Hemrick and John Hunter Nemechek, 28th and 29th. They are a lap down. You got 30th in 2 laps down for William Byron. Will Brown, the other Willie B in this race, 3 laps down in 31st. And from this point forward, everybody, or this point backwards, everybody was out of this race. I am turning off this XFL crap as soon as NASCAR gets off, just because I'm not going to lie. I don't want to give them any extra views than they need. There's a reason they put it near NASCAR, and it's because it's a failing football league. 32nd is Josh Berry out of this race. Then you got 33rd, Justin Haley, who was running top 10 during this race as well. 34th, Chase Briscoe. 35th, Cam Waters. Austin Dillon, 36th. 37th, Ty Gibbs. And Denny Hamlin, 38th, last position. And you know what? I think we actually can edit the name of this, because it was Nightmare early for JGR. It's just a straight up nightmare for JGR with the way that this race rounded out. Let's and while we're at it, let's put the ticker up top. If it's wrong, we will edit it. Very well could be, is where it is. Just let me know. So the Toyota State Mar 350 finishing results up top right now. I think I got everyone where they should be. Whether or not I spelled their name right is another story. Anyway, let's get into this race a little bit. I got my notes. I see you guys want the Minions car more on there, so spam bananas for the Minions cars. Why not? Have a little fun with it. Just spam. I want to see bananas all the way through the chat, and unless you keep retracting them, that's on you. What's Truex's standings now? That's a good question. I will keep an eye out on Twitter when it comes to the cut line. Well, wait a minute. It'd probably be on ESPN, wouldn't it? So I'll check that, because we might be able to actually get the cut line now with 10 races to go to the playoffs starting up. Let's see. Do we got the update? Looks like we do. This was Larson's 3rd win, correct? I just want to make sure before I go all in on this, because last thing I want to do is read last year's. I will be honest with you, I don't memorize the points every week. So if that okay, so it is his 3rd win. Okay. Let's get into it then. We got the points while we're at it, and then we'll get into the race itself. So Martin Truex Jr. now is 133 points over the cut line. After that, you have a long way down to Ty Gibbs, who would be 91, I believe, over the cut line. From there, you have Ross Chastain, who is 78 above. After that, Alex Bowman, and I'm doing all the math in my head, so I might be a little off. Definitely check on that. But Alex Bowman is 60. Let's see. I'm just doing the math in my head here. I think 71 ahead, I believe. There's an easier way to do this. It's with a calculator. Let's double check that. Yeah, 71 ahead. Okay, my math was right. 69 nice ahead for Ryan Blaney. After that, 37 points is the gap now above the cut line for Chris Buescher. And 13 points is the cut line battle right now. 16th place, Bubba Wallace is above Kyle Busch. From there, of course, Busch is 13 below. After that, you have 16 below for Joey Logano and 27, I believe, under the cut line right now for Briscoe. So those are your playoff. That's your playoff grid right now as we're looking at it. Figured I'd update that for you. Let's talk about the race itself while we have everyone here. Joey Logano starts on the pole, gets a good jump early, and the wildness starts as we enter into lap 3. Denny Hamlin his car just completely grenades going past the start finish line. A very rare engine failure, and an even more rare engine failure in the next gen early in the race. Late in the race, like Christopher Bell last week, I get it. Stuff like that does happen. Parts break, whatnot. But this was, I'd say, very, very surprising that would happen this early on. While we're at it, looking through the other crazy things that happened in this race, get another restart. Truex gets stuck off track, so it's even worse of a start when it comes to the JGR guys. You have other things like Byron going off track with a sort of flat tire. He said it was flat. I think it was a slow leak based on what they said. And then lap 16, Ty Gibbs slams the front stretch wall after hitting the turn 11 wall. He's out of the race. And so you have 3 of the 4 JGR guys caught up in incidents 16 laps into this race. Truex, at least, as we saw, was able to continue. The rest of them, it was an iffy day. Bell was quiet. He did get, let me check here, a 9th place finish on the day, so pretty good overall for Bell. Quiet day for Bell. Even without all the craziness, he would have gotten a top 10, 11 place finish. So, again, overall, pretty bad day for Joe Gibbs Racing. At this point, you're having the different pit strategies flip over. I'm turning off the crappy football league as we speak. And by the way, let me know if there's a fight between like Ross and Kyle Busch. I would love to see that. I totally think there won't be because everyone's afraid, but it'd be fun for me. Kyle Busch probably wouldn't be afraid, but the Trackhouse side would. So we get restarted with on lap 19. It's the 45 and the 12. They were the guys out front in the first stage. They dominated the first stage. Reddick leading early on. And right on that same lap, we have a crash with Briscoe, Stenhouse, Logano, and Harrison Burton. I don't know where Harrison Burton was going. He was just going... You see the spin and crash right in front of him, and then he just drives right into it. Right on into it. I don't know what he was doing there, but that's just like a summary in a video of his Cup career so far. Pretty good Xfinity guy. Not so good when it comes to the Cup side. But that involved Logano. He never was really able to recover the rest of the day. They had worried about, a possible toe link issue or anything like that. I know Ross Chastain's a good fighter. I was there for that, but they generally are trying to now keep him away from controversy on the Trackhouse side. Trust me, as someone who's media there trying to ask him questions afterwards, they don't like having any controversy if they don't have to. But yeah, I mean, like Nicholas in the chat says with Burton, complete ARCA moment. I mean, if you could even say, I mean, that is full on ARCA brakes. And it's just at this point, it's inexcusable. He's now, 3 years into his career? He's a 3rd season, and he's still making these boneheaded mistakes. Like, come on, man. I love these super chats and comments. You guys are freaking funny as hell. By the way, click that like button while we're at it. Where'd Kyle Busch finish? 12th. That is at least on NASCAR.com, that is the official finishing position. Kyle Busch credited with a 12th place finish today, just ahead of Brad Keselowski. For anyone wondering about Martin Truex Jr., 27th on the day is where they have MTJ. So any updates for those coming in late, that's what we got right now. The like button's a banana. I mean, well, eat that like button. Let's get the likes up. Subscribe if you're new. Maybe we can hit 77.6 by the end of this show. Getting back to it, though, we get finally restarted. The 45 and the 12 again up front. Reddick has it. We finally get to the end of the stage. He wins stage 1 over Blaney, Larson, Elliott, Bowman. Very solid run for the most part for Bowman. Comes home with a 14th, so not great for the finish. But it was still a solid race and solid speed from that 48 car today. Michael McDowell with the 6th place run. 7th is Suarez. 8th is Chastain. LaJoie and Todd Gilliland round out the top 10 stage 1. Because stage 2, I'm already getting ahead of myself. Stage 2, we're going to get even more stupid and crazy stuff. And I will answer some of those questions, but I do like this one from Edgar in the chat saying, what do I expect from CW? First year, I think it's going to be more, I'd say just NBC. I mean, they're the ones that are powering that Xfinity coverage the last part of the year. But as for years to come, I think with NASCAR being in charge of production for that, I do think we're going to see some good changes. I don't know necessarily if it's going to be for, like no commercial breaks or anything like that, but I could see them doing different things and different kinds of access just because it is NASCAR doing it. They get the say for it. Maybe we will get less commercials, especially if NASCAR with the production side takes that cost away from the CW. They don't have to maybe sell as many. I expect higher viewership, though. That's what I expect, just because it's on a more accessible channel than FS1 and USA. Let's get back to the Cup Series here. Stage 2 on lap 30. We get restarted. Reddick gets the lead again, and then we just get crazy calamity, chaos, any crazy C word you want to think with it. Do not go too far down that rabbit hole the more I think about what I just said. With that, Cindric nearly goes over while spinning. He did a very poor job at the Sonoma jump. My boy just wanted to jump. That's all he wanted to do. But Cindric nearly goes over while spinning. It was actually kind of odd seeing that. This is probably a dumb question for those who've been watching from like before the 2000s, like 90s on back. But have we seen a flip going uphill before? I'm not saying like a little dirt mound or something, but I'm saying like actually going uphill. Have we actually seen a flip like that? Because I know we've seen him like he went almost in the air. We've seen guys flip going downhill or into tire barriers at road courses like this. But let me know which one. Okay, you're saying yes, but I want to say which one. Ward Burton. Again, do you guys think I remember stuff from when I was 4? Like 99 was Steve Park. I was there we go. Thank you for the examples. That's what I appreciate, the examples here. Mark Martin did it. Okay. The tire, are you talking about the C Park one at Sonoma? Okay, so it was uphill. Yeah, that was what, 1999? I was 2. I don't remember 1999. I'm wearing a print shirt, but I don't remember 99. Funny that I wear that today. But it would have been one of the most odd looking ones, especially at that kind of angle. That would have been an odd flip if it did happen. Luckily for Cindric, it didn't. He was able to continue his race. But the next lap, we get a caution. Will Brown parks it on track, brings out a yellow. He's held a lap for course cutting, stopping on track, all of that. I believe he had even more troubles the rest of the day because he came home, what, 3 down in 31st. We'll get restarted again, and as soon as we get restarted, of course, while Reddick and Larson get out front, they were probably the 2 strongest cars overall today. Barry flies into 11, plays bowling with the field, takes about another half dozen or so cars with him, and David Rudiman at Watkins Glen in 99. I don't think they were going uphill at that point. It was right before they got to the hill. Young whippersnapper. I was 5, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I do not remember it at all. I love that one. That's funny as hell. But yeah, I mean, you know what I'm going to say when it comes to Josh Berry here, and I'll ask you guys to do this because we're just going to have fun spamming stuff in the chat. Just spam strike. Everyone just spam strike and bowling emojis in the chat because that's what Josh Berry did on that. And then he was funny because I think over the radio he got upset about what everybody else was doing. It's like, dude, you played bowling with the field. You don't have a right to be upset with what they did there. I get you had contact into the corner that happened, but you also kind of fully sent it in there and almost kind of self-cleared yourself too. So, or torpedo. Yeah, go with torpedo too, Jonathan. I'm all good with that. And with that, we seemingly could maybe get another round of green flag runs to end the stage. But even with that, the next restart, you have a wreck with the 34, the 10, and the 2. And it's kind of odd looking at where they all finished. Gregson comes home 26. He would have been the last one on the lead lap if it wasn't for Truex. The other ones, they were Cindric and McDowell. Cindric was 22nd. Did run at least in the top 20 a bit during the day, but nothing really too much to write home about with the finish and the way it ended out. And then you got Michael McDowell coming home with a second place run. So I'm with you, Noah. I am shocked that McDowell came home to a second place finish. We did finally get a green flag run. We were able to finish the stage with that, with Buescher winning because of the different strategies everybody was pulling. Buescher would win the stage over Priest, Truex, Busch, AJ Allmendinger, Brad Keselowski, Jones, Todd Gilliland, Joey Logano, and Harrison Burton, who at least did cycle into the top 10 at one point today. And Larson would cycle out ahead of the 45, who had issues and was never able to recover. Reddick, he looked to have the best car for the most part, but it was pretty damn clear that it was Larson in the second half of the race that had the best car, and he probably had the best car for the majority of the day. Lane in the chat, anyone know if Truex finished yet? He's rolling. He's still there. Mile an hour. He might get there. He did. Woo! Kevin in the chat here still had our weekly Burton spin out. So true. So sad. And so we get into the final stage. Stuff calmed down in this stage. This is why I said it was a Jekyll and Hyde race. You had the craziness in the first half. You had the calm, kind of normal Sonoma race with different strategies. And actually, I would say a relatively compelling and competitive finish. I swear. English is my first language, and you wouldn't guess it half the time with how much I screw words up. So we get restarted on lap 60 with 50 to go. And it is Buescher and Priest up front. Buescher now leads. You got Truex second. And they're on the same strategy. They're going to run this strategy. They're going to... Compelling tip. I like that. They're going to just... They've made their bet. As long as it stays green, they're going to be the ones who are going to be on the different strategy from a majority of the field. And that's what they do. They basically run it out the next 8 or so laps, pit, and you got guys like Larson who cycle into the lead. You got guys like Elliott and LaJoie and Ryan Blaney who try to go on that longer strategy in the final stage, and they go until 28 laps left or so. 30 to go when Larson pit. I think that was a smarter move. He was able to attack on those fresher tires longer than somebody, say, like Blaney, who pits with 28 to go, or Elliott, who pits with 27 to go. What this all leads to is a 17 cycling back to first position. He's getting run down by the 19 over this final run. The 19 is second after Larson gets past the guys like Busch and McDowell. He's running down Truex in the final part of this run. And you can tell it's all coming together to have at least that compellingative, as I was saying before, just combining the words, kind of like a Gerald Waltrip co-opetition word, if you may. You're having this compelling competitive finish where you know they're all going to come together. You know Truex has to be on the attack. He has to get going forward because you know that Larson is faster. Even before they started tangling up, Larson was, I would say, any given lap, 3 to 6 tenths faster. He had the best car. He had the best call. He just had to get it done. Truex, on the other hand, he is having a car that has gotten better through the day. He's running down Buescher, whose handling is going away. And with 10 laps left, Buescher would miss turn 10. He opens the door. Him and Truex are side by side, contact with 9 laps to go. The 19 and the 5 make it by. But with that, Larson is right behind Martin Truex Jr. He puts the pressure on. And with that, he is able to get past Truex, get the lead, hold a pretty sizable lead for the most part. I think he was just taking care of his stuff a good part of that last run. It was around 8 tenths was what the lead would sit around for the most part. And with that, he runs away with the lead. You had a little bit of drama when it came to Michael McDowell with 5 to go, saying the right front might have been coming apart. It didn't. It held together. You have the last lap, though. First off, Ross Chastain and Kyle Busch get together. I don't know. Has anybody seen a good replay of that? Because I'm looking on Twitter seeing if anything happened from that, but I don't see anything right now. Let's see. I see the angle here. So from Chase Elliott, this from Chase Elliott's car here. Which, oh, by the way, I completely skipped the fact that Fox went to commercial with 8 laps to go. I don't care if it's a road course. It's 8 laps to go, and you still have guys close together racing for the lead. I'm seeing Minton Cow in the chat saying that Chastain missed the turn and ran over Busch. And I'm looking at the replay from Chase Elliott's cam, and it very much looks like that's what happened. Busch goes around. Chastain goes by. Is there an if there's an angle from Ross Chastain's camera, let me know what account I need to be looking for. Here we go. Never mind. I found it, if it'll play. Twitter. Just gets worse every day. Yeah. Chastain just missed the corner. I mean, he got loose in and just got into Busch, cleaned him out. That no other way to put it about it. If I'm Kyle Busch, I'm pissed. I'm going after him. I want to see Kyle Busch fight. I really do. Like I miss that Kyle Busch. The Kyle Busch that used to run like he did today every day and still be pissed about it because it wasn't enough. But that's not the only thing that happened on the last lap. Why do I say that? Because Martin Truex Jr. runs it out of gas, crawls across the finish line slower than Cody Ware. Yes, I don't care if he didn't race today. I will still throw strays at Cody Ware because even with them finishing, Justin Haley finishing 33rd, Kaz Grala finishing 23rd, they still did better than Cody Ware would today. Competitively and speed-wise at least. But he does crawl across the finish line, and hell, if I wanted to stick with this joke, unlike Ware, he finishes lead lap. Overall, an interesting race, to say the least. A lot of dumb stuff. I likened it, and I don't know if people will necessarily like this comparison. I liken the first 2 stages of this race to having diarrhea, right? It's not boring. You know, it's like taking a crap is usually pretty boring. It's just a mundane thing. It was not boring, but it was entertaining, I guess, in every bad way possible. That's the way. Oh, Kyle Busch now has been pushed back to 17th. Because NASCAR.com has him 12th. I'm going to go with NASCAR.com for now. I know that people are saying Busch is 17th. I'm going to go with where NASCAR has him at the moment. But I will say I did like at least the finish of this race. I thought it was interesting. The tire strategy. Tires at least didn't matter. And that's, no, hey, get all upset about the analogy all you want. It's true. Yeah, they still have Kyle Busch in 12th. I didn't mean to say that part was entertaining. The race was entertaining. It just was not in a good way. He ran out of gas. Did you watch the race? Yeah, Busch ran out of gas. I know. And Truex. This is the thing. I come into your guys' conversations halfway through. It took 30 minutes for it to update after. So initially they put Busch 17th. They now have him 12th. I'm going to leave him there until otherwise said. Yeah, I know Kyle Busch ran out of gas. Like, I didn't bring it up. All right, too far still, Joe. I do not. Yeah, I know Kyle Busch ran. Okay, for anyone who didn't know, Kyle Busch ran out of fuel. I know what happened. Everyone else, you should know what happened. What did you think of the race, though? Out of 10, let me know. 10 being the best race you ever seen. 0 being the worst race you ever seen. I want to know. It might have been because the caution was thrown, but at that point, they would freeze the field unless he didn't maintain speed, which he would not have maintained speed. Yeah, I know. You guys keep telling me stuff I already know. It's just, if I don't talk about it, it's not important. I'm seeing a lot of 7s, a lot of 6s, some 0s. All right. Now, yeah, Kyle Busch running out of fuel was definitely faster than Cody Ware. I'll give you that one. So, okay, so now Bob has it posted. This is amazing. See, this is what's amazing to me is NASCAR's own freaking website will get stuff up slower than reporters and different media outlets like ESPN that doesn't even cover the sport anymore. So yeah, they have Kyle Busch 17th and NASCAR still hasn't adjusted their site. That is ridiculous. Get it together, NASCAR. Come on. Like, you have live score. I mean, you're the sanctioning body. How the hell do you not have the results ready to go? I left them both up there, I guess. So I guess that's great. At least you got the right finishers. But Jesus Christ. I mean, that's ridiculous, man. There you go. Updated results are good to go. So, yay. But seriously, like, why? I've updated NASCAR site now 4 times, and they still have Busch in the 12th position. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Oh, they just now changed it. They still haven't changed it on my end. I just refreshed the page and everything. At least Bob has it. Thank you. Thank you to the chat for letting me know that Bob has it. I put Busch in 17th. So he finished 17th now. Jesus Christ. All right. Now I want to hear what you think. 10 out of 10. Best year ever. 0 out of 10. Worst year ever. What do you think of Fox's year? What do you think of what Fox did in 2024? Now, I know they won't listen, but I can still bitch about it. Yeah, let me know. Out of 10, what's your grade for Fox this year? Because personally, I'll say race itself, I'd give like maybe, I don't know, a 6 or 7. It was all right. It was better than average. You know, I'm not heartless with that, but I'm looking at what you guys say, and the numbers are all over the place. I'll be honest, to you guys who enjoy Fox still, I don't know how, but I feel good for you. Because the rest of us don't enjoy it. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of 2s, 3s, 4s, and then I see people giving it like 6 and 7s. I don't see anyone giving it a 10, so at least we don't have anyone. Never mind. I say it and then immediately. I love how people freak out too, by the way, because I had said, like, I thought the first half of the race was not great in a good way, or in a bad way, I mean. Like, it was entertaining, but in a bad way. And I had said something like, you know, hey, say what you want about Sonoma, but it's not entertaining. And the amount of just idiots who are like, you like this? What? Why do you like this? This is awful. And it's like, I never said I liked it, dude. I just said that it was entertaining. Like, I'll take it over them not being able to pass at all. And say what you want, they were able to pass today. Kyle Larson proved it. You saw guys moving up through the pack with different strategies, which is what you need with road course racing. They were able to pass today. Let's see. What else you got? Yeah, I will admit, Harvick was good this year. Should definitely have a lot of room for improvement. I will not say he was perfect, but he was better than Jeff Gordon. You know, I might not be saying much. And you know what? We got NBC coming up next week. Thank God. And I believe with that, too, let me see what the next couple weeks are looking like before we get to the Olympic break. You know, I hate that motorsports gets taken off for 2 weeks for the Olympics. So we got USA with Iowa, New Hampshire. Then 2 NBC races with Nashville and Chicago. USA with Pocono, and big NBC again with the Brickyard. So the next 6 weeks, I will admit there could be some stinkers in there, like New Hampshire. That's just not been good with the next-gen car. Iowa, I hope is good. New track, at least that'll be fun. Nashville's been pretty good the last couple of years. I have no expectations for Chicago, personally. I think the rain last year is what made that race, not the drivers themselves. I'm fully expecting it to be not as good as today. So whatever you think of today, I think take it down 1 or 2 on the out of 10 ranking, and that's what you get for Chicago, I think. The Pocono race, so just got a new sponsor on NASCAR site here. USA, I'm actually excited for that one. Pocono has been pretty fun the last 2 years. It seems like it's been rejuvenated with only 1 date. Though I'll say that, and it'll revert back to being Pocono. And then I just want to see these cars on the oval at the Brickyard. Even if it sucks, at least they tried it. But the Pocono name, by the way, is the Great American Getaway 400, presented by visitpa.com. Say that 3 times fast. But let's finish this baby off, and then we will. I'll let you guys get on with your night, and we'll be live on Wednesday night, Eric Estep's channel for NWP, by the way. So should be a really fun show. Bobby Blair for the 2 says, fire James Small. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, he's definitely screwed up a lot more recently than I think otherwise a crew chief of that caliber should. CBB for the 5. From now on, I will only refer to this car as the Gandalf Gen car, because much like the Balrog in the mines of Moria, you shall not pass. Again, I think they were able to pass. It just, you needed the strategy. When it came to even, yes, I will agree with you. They were not able to pass. And that does need to change. But I'll say, I do like the fact that at least strategy opened up the door to passing, which is what should happen at a road course. What race does Lee Diffie start after the Olympic break? So I believe that is Richmond. August, 12th? I should actually check that really quick. But yeah, so it'll be Rick Allen for those 6 NBC races I mentioned earlier. And then Lee Diffie starts August 11th, Sunday night race, 6 p.m. Eastern time at Richmond. So hey, you know what? The racing might suck, but at least it'll sound better from the PA system. What's my favorite song by Prince? Everyone says this probably, but Let's Go Crazy. It probably also is because they play it at US Bank Stadium when the Vikes get a touchdown, and it's always really fun, but it's just a fun song, man. It's just fun. I love that song. Reverend Rasheem Hall Stewart for the 2. Kyle Larson, favorite to win the Cup Championship. As long as a JGR car doesn't make it, Phoenix plays to the Toyota's hands, I think, a little bit. Same with the Penske Fords, which is why we should move it anywhere but Phoenix. I'm just kidding. We should move it anywhere but Phoenix because the track sucks. Jack C. Sports for the 2. James Small needs to be fired now. I feel the pain. But they have over a 100-point gap to the cut line, so I don't think anything's going to happen. They need to win. That's what they need. He needs that, I think, to save his career. Because Truex this year is racing way better than I think even I expected. It's just he gets screwed because of bad pit decisions. Twin spinner for the 5. Fox missed literally everything exciting on the last lap. Chase, I think is what you meant, went from 7th to 4th, and we still have no idea how he got around Chastain. Well, that's Fox for you. Thank God they're gone. Marky Mark for the 2. 8 out of 10 racing. Goodbye, Fox. Again, I was entertained today. I'm just glad Fox is gone, man. I hate Fox and what they've become. SW for the 5. Really average race, to be honest, but damn, Truex really lost that 2nd place finish. That really stings. Also, finally free from Fox. Andrew Winslow for the 5. We better have a bunch of Slipknot jokes next week. We won't. Well, unless you're asking for me, then I can probably have some good ones lined up for you. Garibuki for the 10. Fox is done, so finally no more complaining. In other news, can't wait to hear everyone complaining about Jeff Burton screeching about anything and everything next week. Yeah, Jeff Burton's a weak link. The octaves he and Steve Letarte will hit will be matched by none. I have a feeling that with Junior gone, that's going to open up the floodgates for a lot of people to criticize Jeff Burton more. Because I'll say, I think NBC is better. But they have a lot of improvement that can be done. One is just don't yell at everything. And if you do yell at anything, at least be Lee Diffie about it and be good. NASCAR Fanatic, thank you for the 5. A lot of cautions for a road course race. Congrats to Larson and admirable effort by McDowell. Now it's on to nothing but commercials. Just kidding. Yeah, Fox has kind of taken up that mantle. Eric W. with the 8-month member chat. Fox is done, but I'm not huge on NBC either. Well, luckily for everybody, as much... here's the thing. People are going to complain about I've seen people complain about TNT. They're going to complain about Prime before we even get a broadcast because, oh no, streaming. Because God forbid our sport goes at least 5 races from dinosaur media. Just 5 away from dinosaur media that's going extinct. I know people are like, we need it more on network television. I agree. But is it really better on cable anyway? Like, really? Is it better that those 5 races go back to FS1? Like, are we really better off with that? That's what I ask. Would you rather do Prime, where more than likely it will be for free on Twitch, you just need the link, or would you have 5 more races of FS1? Those are your options. Because television, especially cable's dying, and I don't want more Fox. I'm happy because we get less Fox. And TNT, I think, could be good. You mean the streaming that will cycle back to cable? Here's the thing. It's still easier now to pirate streams, allegedly. Allegedly. If you try hard enough and you bend rules to your advantage, you can watch every race for free. But I want to give Prime and TNT a chance because especially with Dale Jr. going over there, especially on the Prime side being a different form of media altogether with solely streaming, not just a cable channel streaming or a network channel streaming, they might be able to do new things. I like their Thursday night coverage, even though all the games are crap, and I want to give them a chance. I'm pirating this stream. Good for you. Allegedly. Allegedly. Bobby Blair for the 2. Sorry, I have to do it again. Fire James Smalls. Let out the anger. Gia NASCAR fan for the 2. Truex channeled his inner 2005 Kyle Petty at the end. That's great. Ross Crash Stain for the 5. Alex Bowman. I'm going to run top 5 all day. His 35th ranked pit crew. Are you sure about that? Yeah. That 48 crew is awful. Jan, thank you for the first super chat on here. Painful weeks as an MTJ fan. Greetings out of Germany. Well, I'm glad to see you watching. Yesterday we saw so many different people from so many different places. I'm glad to see that we do have people from Germany watching. I'm not actually lying about this. I am part German, so there's a long line there's a long line leading back to Germany in my family. So it's pretty cool to see you watching. And as for Truex, I feel for you. I really do. Andrew, thank you for the 14-month member chat. MTJ is like Pakistan cricket, blowing away wins. I'll take your word for it. SW for the 2. Fox is really awful. They show this replay frozen. Yeah, that's right. They had that one where we'll see a replay and it's just a still screen. It's like, come on, guys, play it. Rocks reviews and reactions for the 2. Gut punching finish as a Truex fan. Didn't even get second. Yeah. Again, that's not much more we can say on that. Kevin Randolph for the 5. Fox got out of there quicker than my date on prom night. Oof. Yikes. Sorry, I skipped my prom so I could watch a random Kansas race in 2016. I never wanted to go anyway. I'd much rather spend the night watching a race with my grandpa and cousins than go to prom where I'm going to be around a bunch of people that, for the most part, I never wanted to see again. Isaac for the 2. Can we fire Blake Harris too? I think your crew is the real problem. Michael Kelly Gilliam for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, and I'm sure everyone's happy. I love how everyone's like, love that. I mean, I see some people that are like surprised by that, but it's like, come on, man. Like, I talk to 2 people maybe every year that I went to high school with. Like, there's barely anybody that I know from high school anymore. Like, for anyone still in high school's a lot like Twitter. It's not real. Everybody overreacts about everything. Everyone will forget about it in the next week. So if you do something stupid, just don't worry. Everyone will forget about it. And if they don't, you never have to see those assholes again. That's my little PSA to all of you who are in high school or going into high school. It doesn't matter. Like, just Do your thing, get through it, and get out, because life is way better afterwards. If it's the best 4 years of your life, you're a failure at life. I mean, I know it's brutal and blunt to say, and I know we're getting kind of off topic, but it's true. Like, if the best years of your life are when you're 14 to 18, you're really, really screwed up at life. I personally think the last couple of years, even with different stuff that's wrong that's happened in my life, is way better than high school, and I've had way, way better moments. You just got to get through it. I know. And anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch, Marky Mark for the 2 here. What was that national anthem, by the way? I'd rather somebody play the national anthem on the electric guitar than somebody butcher it and miss every single note. Like, I can't remember who it was, but I think it was at Daytona a year or two ago. Might have been for an Xfinity race where this girl sang the national anthem and she hit every note but the correct one, and it was bad. I think there's one I can't remember where I was, but I was on pit road at one race and it was really bad. And it's to the point that like the teams had to keep their heads down and were like just gripping onto either their shirt or their hat or whatever, just so that they wouldn't burst out laughing at how bad the national anthem was. And Kevin Randolph for the 5. I'm 40. We didn't have a lot of races on TV back then. And I still think, at least, we still have, the cable side. I get there's a lot of cord cutters, but we're still going to have the full Xfinity on CW, which will be really easily accessible. What we have now, Fox, FS1, USA, NBC, and now TNT, all are covered under the same packages. You'll get those 31. The only difference is Prime, which that one will only be 5 races. And it's pretty obvious what they did with the planning of that, too. I know it probably also Fox influenced it. But it's pretty obvious that them putting each races, with the 600 in May and then also the races in June, that you had to pay for 2 months of Prime. I have Prime already, thanks to my fiance, so I'm not going to worry about that. Bleacher Report, yeah, that's a big part that's going to be big too. I actually am not. I'm actually pretty positive for the most part on it, other than what Fox and NBC have done with their portions. Way too many USA and FS1 races, especially if the rumor now is if IndyCar goes to Fox, they'd have all of the races on Big Fox. And to that, I had to ask, why the hell can't you do that for more NASCAR races? Like, no disrespect to IndyCar, but it's the lesser of them. I know that they're just putting it on cable so they can get people to their dying cable channel, but come on. And the thing is, they still might strike out on IndyCar, which for IndyCar's sake, I hope they do. I hope IndyCar goes back to NBC because it'd be way better for them. Ripping the Wall saying it was a Jimi Hendrix rendition of the national anthem. It was spot on. Yeah, that's what I didn't know if it was exactly supposed to be that. It sounded like it to me. I didn't mind it. I think people just maybe aren't used to it. I'd be fine with them. Let's see. Jared, that's not true. Fox will only put the 500 on Fox. No, they said they're doing 5 races on Big Fox next year. Oh, you're talking about the Indy 500. I had heard something similar to that, and then maybe a few others, at least on the IndyCar side. But they keep flying these things around. Some of them are saying they're going to have like 3 on Big Fox, a bunch of FS1 races and FS2 for the IndyCar side. And then you gotta be specific though when you say the 500, and I'm talking about IndyCar and NASCAR. I'll just say that, because unlike IndyCar fans, they now have Busch finishing in P12. Are you sure? Are you sure? Because we've went through this already. Bob has posted results too. Oh, Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we are 40 minutes after the race and people can't get their shit together until now? Like, come on. All right, let's redo it again. Because, again, nobody can get their shit together until now. All right, so Kyle Busch finishes 12th on the day. Sorry, it just annoys me, the fact that it's an hour after the race and people are still finding out where people finish. Like, it should not be this hard. Kyle Busch finishes 12th. 13th is Brad Keselowski. 14th is Daniel Suarez. 15th is Alex Bowman. 16th, Zane Smith. 17th is Carson Hocevar. Busch goes now from 12th to 17th, then back to 17th to 12th. There you go. I'm not changing it again, NASCAR. Make it the final results. So damn annoying, man. They keep just going back and forth with it. NASCAR.com had it as 12th for the longest time. Then Bob posts like 20 minutes later, and the Fox side of it posts that he's 17th, and now they put him back in 12th. I feel for you Busch fans. I don't know. You probably don't know where the hell your guy finished. So there you go. Those are the final results of the race, and we'll go from there. Jeez, man. So dumb. Pickleball on Fox? No. Pickleball on FS2? Yes. Yeah, they put freaking pickleball over NASCAR. Like, come on. Oh, I hate Fox nowadays, man. They've went so far down. Justin for the 5. No one will ever top Whitney Houston's national anthem from Super Bowl 25. And Jack C Sports for the 5. James Small got to be fired now. He didn't tell Truex once he was close on gas. That sounds like him. I mean, it sucks, but it sounds like him at this point. Fox is a traitor. Oh, man. Garrett Buki, thank you for the 5. NBC takes over broadcast. First race on USA Network with question marks. Yeah. That's just the way the contract is now. I mean, if we're going to look at the schedule, it makes sense here. So on the NBC side of things, they've made it now where they have the last 6 races of the year from Talladega to the finale on Big NBC. I think we all get that. Remember, they're allotted, it can be 9 to 10. That originally was 9. It usually can be 10 now, but Big NBC races under the current deal that ends this year. So you get 6 of them already eaten up by the playoffs. Then you get Daytona. That's a 7th one. You get an 8th one with the Brickyard 400, 9th one with Chicago, and then they're really big on the new network with Nashville being one. I would rather have it be on Iowa than Nashville, just because you open it up with Big NBC, you get more people in on that side of the year. I'm not too upset about that. And a Sunday night race on USA will pull in good numbers. It's just a matter of marketing, which I don't know. I don't watch anything outside of really NASCAR and then like ridiculousness at 2 a.m. On TV anymore, because I don't really watch traditional TV unless, well, I guess in Smiling Friends at 11 o'clock. But I don't watch normal conventional cable TV anymore. So I don't know if they've done good on the marketing side of things, but they marketed it well. Iowa should get good numbers. God knows they're getting, for what they give, good attendance. And let's see what else we got here. Fred Dog for the 5. Just to add, the 12 and 17, Busch is used to finishing 29th or worse this year. Just add 12 and 17. But it was an interesting race, man. It was interesting, whichever way you want to take that. But with that, I think we're going to end this thing off. Thank you guys for sticking with me today. I know it was all over the place. We will be live this Wednesday on Eric Estep's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Me, Eric, Danny B talks. We will talk about this. There's some charter stuff. The Frances possibly could buy charters under the new charter deal. I don't know about that. I'm not going to give my opinion now. You have to wait till Wednesday to see that, or maybe a video this week. Videos out all week. Subscribe to the channel. We do this after every single race. And climbing on up. I love having all. Yeah, Jarrett used all 5 lanes. But thank you guys for coming on out, and you enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Later, y'all.